to my service, men and women out there in the world, this might be a PSA or I don't know. This story that I'm about to tell you guys is insane because it blew my mind. I never thought it would be this down bad. But you know what? This happened in Florida. If anything crazy happens in the world, it's usually Florida. And also because they're infamous for doing the most down bad, horrendous crimes, crazy crimes, like crimes such as like man eats a dog while riding a horse backwards through a lake. If you ever heard that story in the news anywhere and you would wonder, hey, I wonder where this is taking place, it's probably in Florida. Now, the story that you guys are seeing today is a woman, a delivery driver woman, who got a bad tip. She delivers pizza, got a bad tip, and decided to, hey, let's go ahead and stab this. I don't mean to laugh. I'm laughing also because the woman that she did stab ended up being okay. She did not die, so we can have some humor through this. Anyways, she did end up stabbing the woman, and it's crazy over a bad tip. Also, service people out there, tips are not required. They are appreciated, but not required. So just bear that in mind. I used to work service, well, not service, but I used to like do service for people, and I didn't work for a tip. If I got a tip, I was obviously appreciative and happy to get it, but never did I think this person I deserve to get a tip. This is a deserving thing. If you are working for tips, like your boss, your employer is not paying you a wage that you think is feasible or it's compensating you and your work properly, then you should probably get another job. If you think the tips are required because your boss is being a dick and not paying you a salary that's worth your time or you need for living life comfortably, you need another job. There's no way. It's not the person getting the service job to pay your salary. With that being said, though, I do want to say this: please tip your service people. Please tip them at least something. Anything helps. That's all I gotta say. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the story. Woman stabbed 14 times in front of daughter. That's just crazy. Over a bad tip on a pizza delivery. And this happened in Kissimmee, Florida, in a motel. I guess the woman was living in a motel or staying in a motel. She decided, honestly, especially that. If the person is either living or staying in a motel, do not expect like a huge tip. This person does not have that much money if they're living in it, for one. And if they're just staying there for like a couple days, they're spending money either staying at that place, so therefore they don't have tons of money to be tipping. $1's fine. Whatever. You're going to have 100 more deliveries to go. You'll finally get that one person that's wealthy enough to, tip you a decent amount. All right, let's go ahead and continue reading this. Deputies respond to the motel where they found the victim on the bed with stab wounds on her chest, arms, legs, abdomen. Documents say that's crazy. That's a lot of stab wounds, 14 of them, and the fact that she lived through all of those is pretty crazy. She's a superwoman. The woman was taken to the hospital where she had surgery for a ruptured lung. Wow, and she still lived? That's crazy. The woman's boyfriend told deputies he was at the motel with his girlfriend and her daughter to celebrate his birthday. They had ordered a pizza from Marco's Pizza Shop, which costed around $33.10. How much money do you want from that? Like, what's the bad tip? I really do wonder. If it was like a penny tip, okay, that's kind of like disrespectful. You'd maybe a slap. Definitely not 14 stabs, but a slap, okay, that's, you can let that slide. Well deserved, I mean. But definitely not for that. $33, let's say a 10% tip of that would be $3. 15%, about $5. That's usually a 15%, which is a standard tipping percentage when it comes to service. So 15% is actually a really good percentage. The victim handed Alvaro, who delivered the pizza, $50 in cash and asked for change. Okay, You know, you're not going to give them a $50 tip. That's almost double the price. So, or what is it called? 20 or $17 tip. That's half the pizza price. You're not going to do that because that's half the pizza. That's 50%. That's not what you want. Asking for change is fine because you want the change to give them a fair tip, which would be $5 would be industry standard, 15%. The victim handed Alvelo the delivery pizza, $50 in cash. Okay. Alvelo, geez, that name is crazy. That's the last name. Alvelo told the woman she didn't have any change, so the woman searched her wallet and car for smaller bills. Oh, so she thought that 50. Wait a minute. So the woman didn't. The delivery driver woman didn't have a cash with her, so she couldn't break the 50. That doesn't sound like a. That sounds like her problem. You should definitely have change, especially if you're paying with cash. Anyways, the victim told deputies she ended up tipping Alvelo $2, which is roughly about 8%. It looks like. Yeah, 10% would be 3, so about like $8, 8%, maybe 7% tip. And Alvelo walked away, rolling her eyes. A short time later, the victim heard a loud knock on the door. That's when deputies say a male and female in masks forced their way into the motel room with a gun. Damn, they were about to shoot this woman for a $2 tip. That's insanity. Told the boyfriend to get into the bathroom and begin rummaging through the victim's things and breaking the 5-year-old's Nintendo Switch. Now that is the worst crime you could do. Breaking a kid's Nintendo Switch. You know how long she's going to be hearing, I need a new Switch, I need a new Switch, I need a new Switch? She probably should have died. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. But she's going to hear, I need a new Switch. And it doesn't seem like they have tons of money, so that's buying a new Switch might be a little bit too expensive for them. The victim said she turned away from the masked woman, later identified as Alvelo, to shield her daughter. That's crazy. I think it might have been like her last delivery. Maybe that's probably what it was. Or either that or this is some kind of like crime. What is it called? Like they probably do this all the time when they get deliveries. They're like, hey, so-and-so, I saw so-and-so. This. They might have been, you know what? She might have saw cash somewhere or valuables. And it looks like this might be like part of a bigger crime ring that they're running, where when she delivers pizza to find wealthy people or people that they just want to steal from, and then they go say, hey, so-and-so, I just delivered at so-and-so's place. Go take them out or something like that. I don't know. This is just a speculation. That's what I think. Let's keep reading. That's when the victim felt a hard strike on her back and saw blood. That was the first stab wound, it looks like. Documents said the victim tried to get her phone, but Alvelo took it and smashed it. The victim said Alvelo stopped attacking her when the masked man said it was time to go. Okay. He must have grabbed what he was there for. Then, you know what? This looks like a bigger story behind, because let's say this is me speculating, this is me reaching, this is alleged. Maybe she's like, hey, I know you from somewhere else, you did this to me, or something like that, or what was I thinking? There might have been like drugs that she might have been like, hey, that looks like a lot of drugs that I might want. And she's not gonna say, hey, they stole my drugs. Speaking of which, I saw a video. Of a girl called the cops on someone that stole her drugs. And the cop was like, are you kidding? You know what? Let me see if I can find it. If I can find it, I'm going to pop it up right here.
The crack.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to give it to him. I tried to snatch the money from his hand so he wouldn't run from me. Mm-hmm. And he just grabbed everything.
Right.
So I grabbed it.
So he robbed you of drugs?
He robbed me of drugs.
Not money.
He took
you really
$5.
You're really reporting.
Yes, sir. Yes, I am.
You're reporting.
I'm out here on the streets and I'm trying to get away.
This is quite possibly the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. You are reporting that someone stole the drugs that you were trying to sell them.
Sir, I'm broke. I'm just trying to make a little bit
At
of
what
money
point
here.
does this make any sense? At what point?
It doesn't make
At
any
what
sense.
point do you think telling the cops that someone stole...
I'm being honest. He's not being honest. Where's what he...
Are there drugs in this car?
No, there
better not be
isn't.
no drugs in my car.
There
She a
isn't.
Karen.
All right, let's keep reading. But that's me reaching. I don't know if that was the true story. There's always two sides of the story, I guess. But hey, you should never stab someone. It doesn't matter what it is. They could have. Just don't stab people. The pizza shop confirmed Novello had been delivering pizzas that night. The manager at Marco's Pizza helped Osceola County sheriff's detectives identify Alvello. The manager, who didn't want to be identified, said Alvello was thoroughly background checked when she was hired, and nothing about her raised red flags. Well, she probably wasn't the crime, because she said that she came with her boyfriend. I guess the boyfriend might, have influence in her life, so she might just be. It might have been the boyfriend behind this. Not sure though. The male suspect was not identified because obviously, yeah, he wasn't identified. I was like, he's the one. He's not the one stabbing people. Anyone with information about the incident is asked to contact whatever the county. Yeah, she got arrested. Her mugshot's out. Well, her mugshot's out already, so she was arrested. I don't know if the boyfriend got arrested. I don't know. As of now, probably not. I'm sure they will catch him in the future if like the woman identifies who was the boyfriend, because I guess they were masked, so she doesn't know. And I don't think Alvello is gonna snitch unless she was getting like a law. If that girl would have died, she might have gotten a life sentence, but she would have probably snitched on her boyfriend to get a lighter sentencing. I don't know. And that's pretty much it. This woman got stabbed over $2 tip. I am doing 150% tips from now on. From now on, even if I buy a $6 coffee, I'm giving a $60 tip. I don't want to get stabbed. I don't care. Just kidding, but that's crazy. Again, guys, if you guys work in the service department or service field, tips are appreciated but not required. Just remember that. Do not try to go kill someone over a bad tip. That's just what I'm going to say. Also, shout out to all my service people out there. Love you guys forever. And I mean, honestly, I tip accordingly. 15% is a standard. I always do at least 10 to 15%, no matter what. But, if my service person is like, really on top of their things, really like or like really helping and really like, taking care of me, I sometimes do like 30 to 40%. And that's when I feel like this person really they're working for the tip. I feel like that's what you do the bare minimum just for a, service, like a standard tip. But if you want to get that big tip, you got to get if you want to get the big tip, you got to go a little bit above and beyond than just a regular old, just there, you clock in, you clock out. I've had people like that where they're like this, like half asleep taking my order. I'm like, bro, just go to bed. Just get out of here, bro. But anyways, this is crazy. Let me know down below what you guys think, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.